Well, I haven't been involved in World of Warcraft in quite some time. At least since about 2.5 months after Shadowlands launched. And I don't mind the fact that I haven't played since then. Seeing what the company is going through now, I can only say one thing. You fucking deserve it. You fucking deserve it. I have my own theory about the whole. Sorry. The whole lawsuit thing and everything else. I don't think that as much stuff has gone on there as people say there is. I don't know. That's just me going off into conspiracy land. Don't worry about that. I'm not going to discredit anything going on there. If what happens there with all these lawsuits and sexual harassment and everything else is true, alright, no problem. I'm not going to sit there and say it. But actually, I do want to bring light to one thing. There is that story from years ago of the guy from Overwatch who went as far as to wanted to commit suicide on the highway by driving in oncoming traffic, and that was due to the toxic work environment he was thrown into between the racism and the sexism he felt underneath people in his Overwatch area of Blizzard. Look that up if you can find it. If you can't find it anymore, well, that goes to show you how things get deleted from the internet when they're needed most. Anyway, moving on. I am a big WoW nerd. I am probably not the biggest one, but I am above average to a high degree. I used to be the lore master for my friends. I knew every bit of lore. I knew magic. I knew how the magic worked. I knew how the light worked. I knew how the shadow worked. I could pull out random facts of different characters here, there, and everywhere, and that was fine. I enjoyed the lore. I loved the lore. I loved the idea of the time streams, the timelines, everything, because there's multiple timelines. That's something people don't understand. There are multiple timelines, and us in World of Warcraft characters themselves have jumped to a different timeline, and no one brings that fucking thing up because no one thinks that like that. But that's something different. Watching what's going on in World of Warcraft, watching what's been going on the last 2 years, Battle for Azeroth, not just 2 years, 2 expansions, Battle for Azeroth, the Broken Promises, the shitty fucking story, the shitty fucking content, the mechanics, that fucking goddamn motherfucking Warfront shit. And the goddamn garrison shit they keep bringing back every goddamn fucking expansion. I am tired of the command table. I am tired of it. I hate the command table. Everything gets tied to the fucking command table. Why? Honestly, if WoW dies because of this, I don't care. I'm done caring. I have a druid. My Night Elf Druid, he's my main. Well, not a druid, he's a Tauren Druid now. He's my main. I nurtured him since vanilla. I nurtured him. He was my first character. No, my first character was an Orc Warlock called Thordog. And I haven't played on him since the day I created him. Because I couldn't find the server where he was on, so I made a new character and moved on. I loved the game. I loved it. Vanilla, loved it. I came back. I was subscribed to Battle for Azeroth. I resubscribed just to play Classic. Just to play Classic, and I loved every moment of it. Yes, I made a level 58 on a Gnome Warlock before I stopped playing. Due to my friend group at the time not playing because I fucked up and I got him into a guild that was annoying as hell. To put it this way, that guild wanted to run dead mines every day, 3 to 4 times a day for like a month straight, and they just got tired of it and doing guild runs and legitimately having a level 48 paladin that was doing. I want to say, I don't know what spec he fucking ended up going. I think he was a hybrid spec. All he was doing was basic attack. He wasn't using any other abilities, and it was a slog. My almost level 60 ass could not carry that. Could not carry. That's my dog Angus, by the way. He's a good boy. He's a chunky boy. Yeah. I loved the lore. I love the lore. I read the book The War of the Ancients in high school. That's what I read in high school. I'm only 28. Yeah, I was a bit late to the party with reading that book, but I fucking bought it and I fucking read it. And you know what? I liked it. I liked it because it shows the different timelines and how the WoW timeline itself is different than the Warcraft 3 timeline and the Warcraft 2 timeline and all these other timelines. I love the lore. Then the retcons start happening. First it starts with a simple, oh no, this didn't happen, to, oh, this is the true ending, to, yeah, all this stuff that happened here, yeah, don't worry about it. It was actually, that never happened, this thing happened. You know what timeline I would love to have seen? What content I would love to have seen? The fucking alternate timeline Draenor. You know, where the Draenei went insane, basically started taking over all of Draenor. I would love to see that timeline and actually play through it. I would love to see how that happened. Or a book, or something. Hell, anything, really. But no, that content wasn't good enough. Hell, I would love to see I would love to see that universe's, that timeline's Azeroth, and see how fucked up it gets. And the books, at one point were just to cover things that, no, you didn't need to know, lore-wise, but, you know, it adds a bit of lore, extra lore to it if you are interested in a certain thing. You know, the War of the Ancients, it get brought up, but, you know, there's books in the fucking game that told you about, they give you a synopsis of the War of the Ancients. Warcraft 3 explains the War of the Ancients to a degree. Hell, all these other things explain War of the Ancients. But, the book explained a bit more, and explained the ultimate timeline version than the version that the book covered. Oh, the book in the game covered, because it was different. That one says the Analysis did everything. The actual book's like, no, this is ultimate timeline. Ronan, the consort of Azeroth, of Alexstrasza, and Broxagar went back in time and fucked shit up. Made things weirder. Then you got all these other books. The books that took place before expansions. The Shattering. The Shattering is a great book. You know what's also a great book? Tides of War. But, both those books could have been explained in the game to a degree. Both those books, you don't need them to understand what's going on. You know what book you do need to understand what the fuck's going on? For all Twilight aspects. That fucking bullshit of a book. That bullshit, shitty ass, goddamn hack job of a fucking story. Christine Golden, I don't want to fucking remember her name right now. She's a shitty writer, in my opinion, when it comes to WoW. That story, I'm sure she didn't choose to what the plot was. I'm pretty sure that was just something different. I'm pretty sure that's what they hammered home for her to write. But I can't blame her. I can't blame her for that book. I cannot blame her. I'm sorry I said she's a shitty writer. Great writer. The plot points that got put in that fucking book, shitty. I'm sure it's not her fault. She probably had no creative liberty at all. So I'm sorry. I can't get mad at her. I can get mad at the book all I want, though. You have Thrall, who became Green Jesus, legitimately became a Green Jesus, channeling the power of the Titans, the Earth aspect, to fight a giant 5-headed chromatic dragon that was so goddamn strong that even after killing it, they couldn't destroy the body. I bet most people don't know that fucking dragon even existed if you didn't read that goddamn book. Well, if you didn't read that book, you would understand that that sets up why the dragon flights are so weird during Cataclysm. Essentially, the console of Alexstrasza self-destructs and takes out all the eggs with him because all the eggs got corrupted, and he wanted to go ahead and wipe them all out. So the Alexstrasza wouldn't have to see her children go insane. That book is required to understand what the fuck is going on with the goddamn Thrall channeling the power of the fucking demon soul, dragon soul thing in the road. Then you got other things, such as every book afterwards, essentially. The book that talked about Varian hanging out with the Worgen and then in Ashenville, essentially. You know, that book's not required. That book's not required. It does give you some backstory on Varian, and it's fine. But other books, yeah, they're required to understand the fucking lore. You know, like the Trial Garrosh. Let's see. The prequel book to Shadowlands, the prequel book to Legion, the prequel book to fucking Battle for Azeroth, the books taking place for all these stories that took place between goddamn expansions, during expansions, all this other shit. They're required to understand what the fuck is going on with key characters. I'm sorry, I play your fucking game. You should explain to me through your fucking game. You know what game can actually do that pretty well? Fucking ESO, and that's fucked up, because that lore's all over the goddamn place. The lore is an abomination to the lore, because everything's canon, everything's not canon. It's all about your head canon, meta fucking bullshit. I like the story of WoW. I do. I love the story of WoW. My favorite story? Well, my favorite story for World of Warcraft is Mount Hydra. It is Mount Hydra. That's my favorite zone for a story, is Mount Hydra. The full story that includes Firelands. Fireland Quest and everything else. I like it. I honestly like it. My favorite expansion story? That's tough. I want to say my favorite expansion story is actually the Burn Crusade. Because it's less about the actual, there's no massive overarching plot that covers from zone to zone to zone to zone. Each zone has its own thing story. But you get to piece together how each story in all the zones link back to the overarching thing of Illidan. You can see that in the game. And it's amazing once you connect the dots. And you can see Outland for what it is. Especially you have the history of what Outland was from Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3. There's so much more to that expansion than just the first expansion. Let's go insane. Then you've got my favorite quest line in the entire fucking game is I think my favorite quest line in the entire fucking game is to gain access to the dead mines. Basically, no, take it back. It's to not gain access to the dead mines. No, even better. It's to deliver fucking letters to the different people from an Elven forest and Red Ridge from fucking Sentinel Hill in Westfall. The reason why I love that questline so much is because it encourages you to travel. Alright? You see, that questline doesn't give you a flight path to Stormwind. Now, if you didn't pick up the flight path to Stormwind, which if you didn't, what the fuck's wrong with you? But I consider a new player not doing it. You have to travel all the way back to Stormwind. Drop that off. Request some reinforcements Sentinel Hill. The Red Ridge part, you have to go all the way to Red Ridge. For those you don't know, Elven Forest is a long motherfucking zone. When you're traveling from west to east, that's a long walk. And for those who don't realize it, Vanilla, before Burning Crusade launched, well, it might have been before Wrath of the King launched. Movement speed was slower. You can go back to classic and all you want, everything else, and say, "Oh, this is the movement speed is not slower than that." Retail, the true movement speed is like 3/4 that speed, and 70% of that speed. You might think that's not a big deal. That's a big fucking deal. When it takes 30 fucking minutes to make it from the port in Darksword all the way to Ashenville, that's a long goddamn walk. Sorry, just Ashenville in general, but the town in Ashenville for the Alliance flight path. That's a long fucking walk. Just in general, I checked out a WoW BFA. Technically, I checked out a WoW and BFA. I checked out the story in Legion. Because Legion, well, yes, it is by far the best expansion of the last 3, and definitely the best expansion of the last 4, and is almost the best expansion out of the last 5. The lore was a little retconning. You have Illidan going through and being seen as, oh, he's just a good guy, being nice, he didn't mean bullshit. Illidan knowingly killed mages for their power during the War of the Ancients. He knowingly drained them of every goddamn ounce of mana to the point they died. In the book, he even acknowledges that they're too weak. So I'll use their magic for a better use. Yeah, Illidan's a straight up fucking asshole. Any retconning making him seem like a sympathetic motherfucker is a lie. Fuck off, Blizzard. The game keeps on focusing more and more on raid content, which, sure, raiding is great and all, but when the game legitimately isn't fun until you hit in-game, what the fuck is that? You know Shadowlands? You know what my favorite zone in Shadowlands was? I like the whole Druid lore, Night Elf lore shit, the Night Mother, the Emerald Dreams. I like that shit, because it's fucking interesting to a degree. You know what I don't like? An entire fucking questing zone that evolves surely around fucking stupid ass seeds. You know what I wanted from from Ardenweald? You know what I wanted from that goddamn zone? I'll tell you what I fucking wanted from that fucking zone. I wanted to bring back my fucking bear god, motherfucker. I wanted to bring the bear god back to life. I want to bring that badass motherfucking bear man back to goddamn life. You know what I wanted? I figured, I hoped, I prayed that was him. I hoped it was him. Instead, it's fucking Ysera. It's fucking Green Dragon. I can't dodge shit, bitch. Xavier's deserved that goddamn kill, because that motherfucking dragon flew right into that fucking shit. No dodging, no arrow acrobatics, nothing. Just drove right into it and got corrupted. Her bitch ass deserved to die. Fuck her. And then you tell me, oh, we brought you Sarah back to life. She was here. Bullshit. Bullshit. I got pissed when I got pissed when my last shred of hope for the fucking bear was dashed. And out of all the zones, probably the only one I actually gave a shit about, I actually cared about at all, overall, and actually gave a shit about, guess what? It was the fucking vampire ones. The fucking vampire guys. That was the one I actually gave a shit about, because clearly the goddamn problem. And I like the idea of I like the architecture of the area. I like the idea that basically a feudal system, can't remember the name of the system, but you know, there's people on top, people on bottom, the currency, basically a taxing system for the anima. I like that too. Overall, I hated the animal system. I hated that fucking, oh, big sky thing broke. Soul is going to the mall. I checked out. I left. The guild I was in fell apart anyway, but I was playing less and less anyway because I just couldn't dedicate the time to this shitty ass game. It would be one thing if doing daily quests wasn't such a pain in the goddamn ass. You know what I did in Burning Crusade? I dedicated my few hours of time at school I could play in Burning Crusade to do the daily quest zone in that area, which was the Blood Oath Isle. They had the Sunwell on it. They were built Sunwell. I did daily quests there to save up enough gold to get my epic flying mount. My epic flying lesson. Not mount, lesson. Which, for those who don't know, was 5,000 goddamn gold. It's a lot of gold back then. But you know, not now. That's like, what, 12 daily quests? No. That gold was hard. I did that every day that I was able to, for weeks. And I got enough gold, and I finally got that epic flying. And I was happy. I was excited. It was great. You know what's not great? Not being able to complete my daily quest in the course of 30 minutes to an hour. I could do all the daily quests in about 30 minutes to an hour on my little island thing, and then the two that take you elsewhere into Outland. You know how long it took me to do all the daily stuff in Shadowlands? A long fucking time. Due to the simple fact that they're all over the goddamn place in the goddamn fucking flight path. My god, I hate that goddamn flight path. That flight path, legitimately, from one zone to the next zone, is you could walk away, make a sandwich, which I have done, make it nice, grab a drink, go take a piss, bring all that stuff back to your desk, sit down, and you might have just landed at where you were supposed to go. Might. And I can only take that goddamn stupid wormhole bullshit tunnels thing so long before I want to slap some bitches. Seriously. What the fuck is with Blizzard and wanting to make flight paths so useless? And the story alone pissed me off about for Azeroth. Sylvanas, oh, being the big bad person. Okay. What happened to never making Sylvanas the evil person? Oh, turns out he was corrupted. This was the evil Sylvanas. Didn't you know we hinted that back way back then in that book where she tried committing suicide? Yeah, sure. Sure you did. Sure you did, Blizzard. Sure you did. No, for those of you who don't know, Sylvanas tried committing suicide at the end of, before Cataclysm happened. She went to the top of Icebound Citadel to see that, yes, Arthas had died, and so she jumped off the top of the frozen throne to try to commit suicide. And it's all darkness, and the Valkyries offer to bring her back. So she offer to take her place. So the strongest of them sacrificed himself. That's how she had Valkyries in Cataclysm. Just so you know, just so you fucking know. Yeah, fuck off, Blizzard. If you didn't read that book, you would not know that was happening. You would not know that was happening. Hell, if you don't play the Gilneas invasion, you would know that Sylvanas died there too. There's so many fucking things that pissed me off at WoW. Overall, the lore went downhill. Yes, the lore wasn't perfect and needed to be retconned here and there, but when you go through and destroy entire characters just to make something new, just to make something work with your goddamn lore, you fucked up. If your new lore requires the changing of so much previous established shit, maybe you shouldn't recommend it. You know how the person who wrote Thor Trial Aspects was supposed to rewrite parts of the lore for Warcraft 3 Forged. That game, bullshit. Hey guys, let's release a remake version of our game, but make it shittier. What could go wrong? Oh, everything went wrong. Yeah. Overall, I'm pissed about WoW. I'm glad it's finally the people making that shitty game are getting what they deserve. The people in charge of doing that shit are getting what they deserve and getting so much backlash. The employees walking out, employees holding protests, which are being, co-opted by people who want their version of demands met, not the all employees should be treated equally. No. Let's focus on minorities of the employees. If that's a different thing. If you want to see what I'm referring to about, look at Arch Warhammers, the Arch Warhammers secondary channel, or Arch, secondary channel. He covers pretty well, and if you want to teach black girls to code and get in video games, fine, go right goddamn ahead. I don't mind that shit. But you shouldn't co-op your goddamn employee movement against Activision Blizzard to support a charity that has nothing to do with Activision Blizzard. That's fucked up, mate. That's fucked up. I'm 28. I've been playing that game since vanilla. Probably 6 months after vanilla came out, my dad got the game for us to play. The account I have is my dad's original account. The characters that belong to him on it are still there, with the names that he gave them. I don't play those characters because I like them existing on that account. I like them existing on it because it reminds me that my dad and I used to share that account, and I'm happy to see those characters whenever I go through Realm List. When I used to do that, I haven't done it in a while, and I see those characters and I get happy because me and my dad occasionally, play because he got himself another account just so he could play because I would play all the fucking time. There were so many things about WoW I was hoping for. Burning Crusade Legacy servers, I was hoping they wouldn't come out for another 2-3 years. Then they come out and they have all these microtransactions, buy gold, WoW fucking token, buy mounts, and all that shit. At what point does Blizzard get away with just doing that, destroying so much fucking goodwill to them? Vanilla was perfect. Almost perfect. It was almost completely perfect. I will say I did not like the fucking Asmongold fucking lunatics that jumped in and wanted to progress so goddamn hard. Fuck. Why aren't you playing the optimal build? Why don't you? I can't blame Asmongold for that. I cannot blame him. I want to blame him, I do. But I can't blame him. It's not his fault. To tell you how much of a fucking nerd I am, I have the World of Warcraft cookbook. I've cooked recipes out of that goddamn thing. I made the bread. The fucking Tauren goddamn bread. I've made the meatballs. I've made the beer cheese. I've made a few desserts. I've made soups. I've made shit from that goddamn recipe book. I've made the brownies. Fucking hell. I would sit there and read books I found in World of Warcraft. I have all 3 Chronicles. I expected a 4th Chronicle, but it never came out. I've read the first one, and I've read most of the second one. I stopped because I lost interest in reading those goddamn books because WoW was going downhill at the time, and my life got busy. There's so much shit with that goddamn shit that makes no fucking sense. The constant retconning ruined the story for me because I would quote something and someone would say, no,